Can I have one of your t-shirts later?
You can, but they're really hard to get. We've got Service Cloud and we're using Agentforce there, our CRM, and I always forget one. You know, it's like your children. I forget one of the clouds.
Clint, hello. Thank you so very much for being here today. Why don't you tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
Thank you, Lucy. Thanks for having me. I'm Clint Hearne. I'm the Executive General Manager of our customer loyalty in Flight Centre Travel Group.
And if you wouldn't mind, would you be able to just give us a slight reveal and explain the beautiful t-shirt there?
Slight reveal. So branding. You've always got to be on the hustle. So travel is the points. So it goes to our new loyalty program, Well 360 Rewards, where everything we do is based around travel. So
fantastic.
Points, you know, trying a little bit tongue in cheek.
I love it. Everyone loves a pun, love. Everyone loves a pun.
And I'm not usually good at them, so great creative team.
Flight Centre is one of the most recognisable travel brands in the world. Mm-hmm. But for folks who might not know the full scale of the business, can you paint a picture of what Flight Centre Travel Group actually looks like today?
It's big, so like operating in over 8 countries and with a lot more in our corporate division. And then we sort of split between leisure focused and a corporate pillar. And there's about 30 brands in that. So some in Australia you'll know, Flight Centre, Travel Associates, Cruise About, and then we do ultra luxury with Scott Dunn Private, overseas in the UK and Singapore and USA. So we have a diverse range of brands, all focused on travel.
Now, we know when you first came into the role, you inherited a marketing operation running across multiple regions, 150 different platforms between them. My goodness, that makes me dizzy. What was the tech landscape actually like, and what did it mean for how you could serve the customer?
Yeah, it was actually really hard. So in Flight Centre brand specific, and my previous role as head of marketing for Flight Centre brand globally, we did a really big analysis on our MarTech stack, and that's where we got to 150. So
unbelievable, yeah.
Huge, and then all you can see with that is there's so much opportunity. One, for how do we scale really quickly, and two, there's some cost savings within that. So we embarked on a journey to really consolidate that across the board. One of our core platforms being, that marketing communication platform. So in Australia, we use Marketing Cloud, Salesforce Marketing Cloud, same as New Zealand, but our other regions less so. So we embarked on about 12-month journey to put everyone on 12 months on the same stack. And we've been able to heavily reduce our MarTech platform. Probably still more to do, so there's about, we're down to about 76. But we've deeply invested in the marketing side in Marketing Cloud. And it just allows us to scale really quickly. We can create journeys in one, and then we look at those local nuances. We'll be able to change and filter based on that, but allows us to roll out at scale. And we have a centralized team doing that now.
And so how did you encourage the other markets with, as you said, potentially very different brands, very different customer groups, personas? How did you encourage all of those markets to come on the journey with you?
I think globalization is interesting, and it's something that our company's been doing for the last couple of years because it made sense economically and also for that scalability. I think because those markets weren't very advanced, we could come in and we were giving them something that they'd never had before. So that's always a nice win. I'd like to think I can influence quite well. So turning up in destination, hearing what they needed from a platform and what they could do, and then what we could provide from a centralized team really helped, and then empowering some local staff. So they know in the Canadian market or the UK market or South African market what they need there.
So that's really interesting in terms of scaling. So you're encouraging markets to, be themselves and to take what they need from the Salesforce platform, and then encouraging the rest of the business to actually learn from some of the advances that are being made all the way around the world.
100%, because I think then everyone feels empowered, everyone wants to learn, so it made it a lot easier for us to be able to achieve.
Everybody's happy.
Everyone's happy.
I hope everybody's happy.
Yes,
okay.
Mostly.
So at some point, you described as hitting a ceiling, perhaps, in terms of the physical and digital experience that you're able to present to customers. What was the tipping point, the realization for you, Clinton, in terms of, I think we need a loyalty program. I think we need to take the step up a few notches. Yeah,
it was really interesting. So I look at the market, and the loyalty market in Australia is mature. I think the last big travel loyalty program was probably Velocity 20 years ago. So 100%. Which means it's very complex, but there's a lot of opportunity there. We could see from our customer base, under 30s, they want something for nothing. So I go, cool, if they're buying, how do we give them something?
Yep.
Why not? I go, they're much smarter than what I was at that age, so good. We know the mature market. they know how to make currency work for them. So if they do it, it's points is money. And so you started to go on, how do we tap into that a little bit more?
Yep.
We dive deep on, across the board, what our value proposition is. And our purpose and our company's purpose is to open up the world for those that want to see. Could we do something wrapped around that aspirational bit of travel that was purely a travel loyalty program to really tie into that, to be able to give Aussies at the moment and looking to scale more ways to be able to travel with that. And the market is changing. You have big financial institutes coming more into the travel one. People are trying to grab onto this emotional connection that is travel.
Yep.
How do we bring that together? How do we utilise our data across all our different brands to be able to offer something that is quite unique? Because no one else in market at the moment to this scale is offering a travel loyalty program that is purely designed and made for travellers, be it the under 30s or the mature, someone travelling once or their first trip to the Gold Coast. We wanted to have something that encapsulated that and was able to be used across all our brands. So we've launched with 3 brands and then we created a new one. So Flight Centre Cruiseabout Travel Associates, all brands that were already existing, and we created Wealth 360 Rewards to answer that gap that we saw that would give us, propel growth, start to have a commercial business that's based on customer lifetime value.
Are you hoping for greater depth and frequency in a single brand, or are you hoping to have that stretch across, for people essentially to start to cross-shop more purposefully across the brands?
I think it's twofold. Customers will shop where they want to shop. So at the end of the day, how do we give customers more of a reason to come in, buy more from us, any of the brands, more often?
Yep.
And really, increase that basket size and also create new customers coming into our group, or potentially ones we lost 3 years ago for whatever reason.
So it's a win back and then increase frequency, as you said, either more deeply or across all the brands.
Exactly.
That's fantastic.
It's very early days. It's
yeah.
very early days, but initial signs are good. Scale is really important to us. We want to be the fastest growing travel loyalty program in Australia, so we want to hit that million mark quite quickly. We're 2 to 3 months in, depending on when you look at launch, and we're at 200,000, so really happy with that.
Fantastic.
52% are new to group, so that's either new customers or ones that we lost beforehand. And
that is brilliant.
It is exciting.
Yeah.
And we're seeing good early signs in, additional bookings being made, frequency increasing, but that will go. So I think loyalty is important to look at what metrics matter when, because that lifetime of the customers is really important.
Well, I saw you all over a tram yesterday.
Good.
So you're obviously, you're out there. I'm
we are pushing hard. Well, it's travel is the points. That's
travel
the message.
Is the point. Fantastic. So from a strategic perspective then, what were the 2 or 3 non-negotiable capabilities that you had to have in that program, and therefore what we've had to enable for you?
Travel, people purchase 1 to 4 times a year.
Yep.
So expanding that ecosystem. So we wanted to have more partners come on board outside of travel, so that the way we could accelerate that travel offering. So to be able to do that and do that through a loyalty management system and bring them in, being a financial institute or everyday retailers, to be able to allocate points, really important. So that was one.
Partners number 1.
Partners. 2, we didn't want to go into status, and that was a design choice. The airlines do this great, and we're complementary to them. You earn your status, you earn your points, and you earn Wealth 360 reward points at the same time. So sort of no reason not to, but we did want to have a subscription model. So rather than status, you can buy a yearly fee, and with that you get a range of benefits that sometimes you would see in a status one, so lounge access, delayed protection, digital eSIMs. And then because we have such a broad customer base, we allow you to choose 3 additional ones, like a Travel Money Oz currency pass, or a pet resorts voucher, or some wine.
Perfect. Yes, please.
And then
4
you
o'clock.
100% is at that time. But how do we get that and build that habit to come in? Also, it starts to play into the psychology. If people pay for something, they're more likely to engage, so that loss aversion piece really comes in. So we wanted to tap into that as well.
Paid subscription is really interesting. Did you research that with customers to see, is there an appetite for it? Is the price point correct? Do they actually see the value in making that purchase?
We did so much research, across everything
did.
we did across the board. I mean, number 1 is Lounge Pass.
Lounge passes.
I know, and I think it's interesting because with lounges, a lot of people that aren't in business don't get to experience them. So if you can start your holiday a little nicer, we've got 1,600 different lounges that you can get access to. By the time you have your spring rolls, a bit of sandwich, I bought my Bloody Mary, well I don't have to buy my Bloody Mary, all those different bits and pieces, people start their holiday well, so that was number one. People wanted that. Price point, we looked at comparable in market. So there's other travel providers that are about that same price point offering different things. So we go, hey, we're in the money here. And from, you think you bought travel anywhere from $6,000 to $20,000, you go, I can get a little bit of these ones and get a little bit more things. So that value back, that $300 to $500 in value straight back.
Straight back.
For $249, bargain.
Makes sense to people up here. Heads and hearts.
Correct.
Okay, so obviously I've looked at your program, and when I first met you back sort of, I don't know, a year ago, I thought to myself, wow, they are ticking off every single tenet of loyalty in terms of the value, the paid tiers, the altruism in terms of being able to donate. You've literally gone through the whole chocolate box of loyalty and pulled everything out. It is ambitious. Talk to me about what was important in terms of choosing Salesforce to enable something that is very ambitious.
Yeah, I think the ambition is important. So we want to be a top 3 loyalty program, not just in travel, across the board, because we know you need to be that front of wallet or front of mind to really take up that mental availability. So when we looked at that, and we'd been a Marketing Cloud, Salesforce Marketing Cloud user for a fair chunk of time. So when we were looking at what does loyalty enable and what does it give you? Data. And so when I looked at all those different clouds and how we start to connect that together, how do we make that easy and seamless so that way we can put the right points offer or travel offer in front of our customer at that right time? Obviously, we've decided then to go deep with Salesforce.
Yes.
We're in one now with Data Cloud, we've got Service Cloud and we're using Agentforce there, our CRM, in its infancy coming into that, and I always forget one. It's like your children, I forget one of the clouds. We decided that because the language models, what we can do and develop, and looking at Salesforce, what you're putting into these products, in particular at that stage, into loyalty, was really appealing to us. So we want to go on someone that wanted to grow with us and can help us achieve that ambition really quickly and be able to scale so we can take on new countries, so we can take on new parts of the business like our corporate arm.
No, I love it. Because we're partners, can I have one of your t-shirts later?
You can, but they're really hard to get. Just so you know.
I'll get you a golden hoodie.
I want a golden hoodie. I have a couple of the other ones.
Okay, that's brilliant. So there's a real technical complexity behind the scenes with what you call the escrow process. Points that only unlock once travel is completed.
Yes. Well, I think it makes sense from a customer's perspective. You only get points after you travel.
Yeah.
Yep. It's common in airline and hotel programs. Our complexity comes with which is also our unique selling proposition, the number of products we have. And with that, we have different points allocations based on those sort of ones. So in some, because we integrate with a lot of different suppliers, 500 plus airlines, 900,000 hotels, 41 cruise, so much. So we have it in the LMS system. Obviously, data's only as good as it comes in, so we do a bit of a transformation, and we did build a little middle layer that we call our LTS, Loyalty Transaction Service, before it goes in there to sort of help that process to go through.
Could you explain a little bit for the viewers who are watching this, how you do differ from a pure play airline loyalty program?
I think it's that range, especially in the redemption area, that I go is quite unique. Also, our reward store. So when you're looking for those reward seats that we all do, I do as well, what we've done different there is we have reward airline seats, we've got reward hotel beds, cruise cabins, tours, guided tours, etc. And we put them all in one place. The searching, you come into our app and you can find them in one area, then you can access them really quickly. They're the highest value rewards you can get. It's the most accessible travel reward store in Australia.
And so you talked a lot about data, which is fantastic. Data being the oil to all of these incredible programs.
Fuel and money now.
Fuel and money, absolutely. Yeah. So for a bit of fun, have you identified any weird and wonderful behaviors and transactions and engagement with the program today that's really blown your mind?
I don't think so, because a lot of the stuff we preempted across the board, so which was good. And we work with Ellipsis, a great loyalty consultancy, like specialists, so amazing.
Yep.
So we're starting to see that come through as scale. So financial partner transferring big points in, adding on paid membership and then redeeming straight away. Good. Within our app, we actually have a gamification platform which allows people to do and earn points for doing nothing. Happy days, customer wins, but it also lets us round out that sort of profile. So what's probably been interesting is some of those insights. bucket list, everyone wants Europe. Northern Lights, #1 across the board.
Oh, fantastic.
Over
Is it
70s
really?
want to do Christmas,
Yeah.
Christmas markets over there, but then you sort of see in the under 30s, Africa comes in second. In Tassie, they want to go to the Maldives. And then we start to see those state-based things. So the data allows us to be able to segment and target really well, and then start to use that in paid media a lot more, not just for us, but across our brands.
Okay.
Because we actually have personalisation aspects in all of our brands, like real estate, with the help of you guys to go, we can push this. So regardless of if you're on any of our 4 brands, you can put that right message, right product in
Right
front of that
time.
person, right time. And also in that data club, we've got all our booking data.
Yes.
We're starting slowly to bring in our CRM data, because that face-to-face interaction and grabbing that no one else has.
Yeah, so talk to me about that, the physical, not physical data, but the data from the physical.
We have
stores
2,500 agents.
Yeah.
Great people out
Yeah.
there. So CRM is at our infancy for us. Like, it went live a month before Loyalty did at that one. So with Salesforce. So as that develops, how do we capture more of that in there and in notes or different areas? It already has, hey, this is Lucy, she's a paid member plus member. We can sort of see that more. Then how do we use that personalisation that we're putting in marketing channels into CRM at the same time? So let's capture it, that one-to-one human conversation. No one else has.
Fantastic.
Which is brilliant. Combined with all these other bits and pieces, will really set us on a new path.
Some people plan their trips down to the last minute, but other people get there and think, crumbs, what should we do? And to have that suggestive proposal to someone to say, you're in Hong Kong, you're in Singapore, do X, Y, and Z, I think that will pay dividends for you.
Exactly, especially for those places you just want to see there. Also experiences. We know a lot of people buy experience. That day 2, that surf lesson in Hawaii, whatever they're doing in Bali.
Dolphins in Singapore.
That sort of thing, they
Yep.
go through and do in destination because they want to see the weather. They want to know how they felt that day. Are they jet lagged? So to have that data and then be able to capture them there and do a push notification or something through any of our apps, powerful.
Weather data to say you're going into the typhoon season to Bangkok.
Yeah, I know.
Take a brolly.
100%. But you also got a great deal.
You got a great deal. You got a great deal. Clint, you have been amazing. Thank you so very much for coming today and giving us your time.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, Lucy. Thanks for making it very gentle.